Hello and welcome to another Roofers Coffee Shop Lunch and Learn. I'm Heidi Ellsworth and we are here today to bring some amazing information, very important to every roofing company about ventilation. This is one of the key issues out there is proper ventilation. And if you don't have it, you're going to have problems. So we're excited to bring an expert to talk about ventilation today to make sure that your company has all the information you need to be able to talk to homeowners and building owners and really make a difference with steep slope roofing. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone to please download your learning discussion guide. It's a PDF that comes with this video and use it, make notes as we go through these learning objectives today. 1, why do you need ventilation? 2, the importance of balanced intake and exhaust ventilation. And 3, how to calculate how much ventilation is needed. Okay, let's get started.
So hi everybody, I'm Samantha Gillenwater. I am the product manager in residential roofing for CertainTeed and ventilation. I recently took on ventilation back in February, so I've been diving headfirst into ventilation and the ventilation industry. So I've been with CertainTeed for a total of about 7 years. Started in siding, in customer service, in supply chain, and then moved over into marketing about 2 years ago. So I've been with roofing for about 2 years now.
That's excellent. Wow. Very cool. Great. Such a great company and taking on some really important issues. Sam, why should roofing contractors care about ventilation?
Well, I think there's a few reasons that you need ventilation. The biggest being it prevents cold weather condensation that can really affect the life of your roof. And that can happen in, I think, 3 different ways. 2 of the biggest ones being heat and moisture buildup. So heat in the summer, moisture in the winter. And then the 3rd biggest reason is it can prevent from ice damming. So we all know that ice damming can damage your gutters, it can damage your eaves. So ventilation will really help prevent that.
Yeah, and when you're really kind of looking at that why ventilation too, like you said, it's all the time. It's summer, winter, it's year round, but it really is important to help homeowners also reduce energy consumption, lowering cooling and also heating bills.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Heat in the summer, you have the sun beating down on your roof. That's causing that air up in your attic to get very hot. In the winter, moisture from the shower, from laundry, from dishwashing is causing all that moisture to go up into your attic. So it really needs to find a way to escape so it's not lingering in your attic.
And when it does linger in the attic, what happens is basically you're going to get rot and mold and terrible
damage,
things.
Yep, damage to the materials, damage to your roof.
Yeah, I think a lot of people underestimate the heat that can happen in the attic space, what it does to the underside of the roof and the shingles.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it can really damage the underside of your roof. It can damage those materials and the structure of your house.
So Samantha, can you kind of talk to us about that? How does that work? The balance of intake and exhaust?
Right. So you really want to have both intake and exhaust ventilation working together. So hot air, like we said, can sit in your attic, and without proper exhaust, it can just sit there. It's not circulating around. Like we said, it can come from your heat, from the shower, from doing laundry, or air can circulate around the top of your attic, leaving stagnant air at the bottom without proper intake vents. So they both really work together to create a constant and consistent airflow.
To have that air not ventilating out, it can just sink or it can rise and be in the wrong place without it getting through the ventilation. So as you're looking at the proper intake, how does that work?
So proper intake at the soffits and eaves will kind of just move that air through your attic, right? And then it'll go to the top of your exhaust vent at the top. So a balanced vent system is really accomplished by placing those intake vents near the bottom of your attic space at the soffits and the eaves. And then the exhaust vents would be at the tops, the peaks, the ridges of your house to get that air out of there.
What are some of the recommendations you have from CertainTeed on those types of vents that they're using both for intake and exhaust?
So we usually recommend our intake vent. We only offer one intake vent to make it easy for you. And then we have a variety of exhaust vents. So we have our ridge vent that comes in 12 and 9-foot lengths. We also have a rolled ridge vent, and both of those also come in a filtered or non-filtered version. So you can use any one of those as an exhaust vent.
Yeah, and now I know a lot of times when roofing contractors are putting in intake and exhaust, they maybe when they first put it in, it's all right. But then over time, homeowners can move things in front of vents, they can move things around, it can cause all kinds of problems, right?
Oh gosh, yeah, you can move things in front of it, or even the insulation can block it. The insulation can block soffits, creating more air buildup in there if it has nowhere to escape. So you want to make sure you're not blocking that either.
Yeah. Maintenance.
Yes.
Yearly maintenance is
exactly.
important.
Exactly.
And then how about weather? How does weather affect, how can that affect your intake and exhaust?
Yeah, so like we said, air can get constricted if you're blocking your soffit vents, or if there's only vents on one side of your attic. So similar to the effect of you just opening windows on the one side of your house on a breezy day, that air is not going out anywhere. It's getting trapped on the other side of your house, right? So if you open windows on both sides of your house, the air can pass through easily. And that's like the exact same concept with ventilation too, just at the top of your house.
Right, and you top your house and
Yeah.
keep everything nice and dry the way it should be.
Exactly.
Sam, how do contractors really calculate how much ventilation they need?
Well, luckily we've made it easy for you. We have a Certainty ventilation app, so you don't have to do a ton of math, but really to use the app, you'll need the total square footage of the space that you're ventilating. And then you can input it in the calculator, and the calculator will output the number of intake and exhaust vents that you will need. And it will do that based off of the NFA 1/300 rule.
Excellent. So they're going to be able to meet building codes and be
Yes.
able to make sure they're doing everything correctly for that home,
Exactly.
that owner.
Yep. And then they can even print it out or email it and to the homeowner, to other people on the job, to let them know what's needed as well.
And I understand also on the app, there's resources.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, we've got all of our products listed on the app with individual product pages that can tell you more about our event offerings, so you can find the right ones that you need.
Having somewhat of a sales and marketing mind and knowing a lot of people who are out there watching this are probably in sales or at the front desk, and they are having these conversations with homeowners. This is really an important sales tool to show the homeowner the app and how it's being calculated and why. Maybe talk a little bit about how contractors can use this in their homeowner sales.
Well, exactly. Yes. So those salespeople at the front can use it, but a lot of people are on job sites too. You want to be able to do it very easily. You don't want to have to sit there and handwrite, how much is needed. This way you can just take a couple quick measurements, put them in the app, and you're done.
And you can send that report to the owner.
Yep, exactly. You can send it to the homeowner, to, like I said, the other people on the job site, people back at the office if you're, out of the office.
Yeah, that's excellent. So often we kind of separate sales and marketing away from production or operations, but when you put it all together in the roofing company and really say, hey, look at this great tool we have, it's going to give us the correct ventilation to meet building codes. We need to share this across the board. So I think that, on how to calculate is our third learning objective, but really there's that other learning objective of how do you take all this great information and really use it to not only educate your homeowners, but to help them through the process and then give them quality safety of mind that their home is going to be safe. On that same level, we kind of talked about this at the very beginning, but when the ventilation is not properly installed, you also can have real fears of an unhealthy building.
Yeah, it can cause moisture buildup, mold, mildew, all those things that you don't want to breathe in. If it's not installed properly, you can get leaks, damages, and then you'll have to redo it all over again. Sorry, I don't like that last piece.
I know, and you don't want to do that.
No.
There's a lot of homeowners and building owners that are actually very educated on safe homes, healthy homes. And so again, I know I've said this a bunch of times, but I just think it's so important. The conversation of ventilation needs to be front and center with all of your owners. And Certainty, using this app you're able to not only calculate, but you're able to share all that product information with your customers.
Absolutely.
For the contractors out there, I know you have a lot of great resources at CertainTeed, including brochures, obviously the calculator, articles that can be also shared with homeowners. We're going to have those on the screen for this lunch and learn so that people can see those and be able to get those. But what do you recommend for roofing contractors and roofing companies who want to learn more beyond this lunch and learn? How do they reach out to CertainTeed, and how do they, really bring the ventilation topic into their overall business?
Yeah, so we have a ton of resources on our website, certainteed.com. We've got individual product pages for you to check out and look at all of the ventilation products that we offer, but we have blog posts, articles, videos on our website for everybody to take a look at and get more info. I also really recommend the ARMA website. They have a great video on how to properly ventilate your attic to protect your roof. So highly recommend that video as well. Or you can work with your local CertainTeed territory manager or sales rep that can also point you in the right direction for ventilation.
I love it. And you know what? I love the fact that you are bringing ARMA to the forefront too, because for roofing contractors who don't know, that's the Asphalt Manufacturing Roofing Association.
Yes.
Yes, I think I said it right.
Manufacturing Association.
Yes. And a great resource to use with your homeowners. It's third party. Is validation out there of how important this is, and they do great work in the industry. So I think that's an excellent recommendation.
Yep, absolutely. We use them all the time.
Yeah, very good. Well, so for everyone out there, now this is what you need to be looking at: ventilation, all kinds of resources. You're going to see those that are going to be included here with this lunch and learn. You have the expert Samantha Gillenwater, who can bring any information you need that way too, or getting with your local CertainTeed rep. Again, as we look at what we went through today and on your discussion sheet, talk about why do you need ventilation as your first learning objective, and really look at how you can spread that throughout your whole company and to your customers, most important. And then the importance of balanced intake and exhaust ventilation as learning objective number 2, and how that works and how you can work together to explain that to your customers. And finally, the tools you need, which is the ability to calculate ventilation, our third learning objective, and that includes the CertainTeed app, which you can download, and also all of the brochures and information that is out there. So you can find all of this, of course, on the CertainTeed directory on Roofers Coffee Shop, and you can also get right to CertainTeed that way too. So Samantha, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Heidi.
This was great, and I hope you all enjoyed this. Please do your discussion points, and don't forget, if you take a picture and send it in, you might win your next lunch on us. We want to see your pictures of those lunch and learns so we can send you some pizza or something, whatever you would like. Ooh. And until the next time, we will see you on the next Roofers Coffee Shop Lunch and Learn.